session today, 21st session. We are into the second chapter of Taittareeya Upanishad called the Brahmanandavalli, and we are into the beginning the second Anuvaga after having completed the first Anuvaga or the first section, subsection. So with that, let me do the usual prayers before starting the room. नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम् आलयम् करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करम् लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करम् शङ्कराचार्यम् केशवम् बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद ब्रह्मानंदवल्ली शांति मंत्रम. ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. ओम शांति शांति शांति. द्वितीय अनुवाक which is पंचकोश विवरणम. अन्नाद्वै प्रजा प्रजायन्ते याः काश्च पृथिवी श्रिता अथो अन्नेनैव जीवन्ति अथैनदपि अन्त्यन्ततः अन्नं हि भूतानां ज्येष्ठं तस्मात् सर्वौषधमुच्यते सर्वं वै ते अन्नम् आप्नुवन्ति ये अन्नं ब्रह्मोपासते अन्नं हि भूतानां ज्येष्ठं तस्मात् सर्वौषधमुच्यते अन्नात् भूतानि जायन्ते जातानि अन्नेन वर्धन्ते अद्यतेति च भूतानि तस्मादन्नं तदुच्यत इति. तस्मात् एतस्मात् अन्नरसमयात् अन्योन्दर आत्मा प्राणमयः तेनैष पूर्णः स वा एष पुरुषविदः तस्य पुरुषविदताम् अन्वयम् पुरुषविदः तस्य प्राणेव शिरः व्यानो दक्षिणः पक्षः अपान उत्तरः पक्षः आकाश आत्मा पृथिवी पुच्छम् प्रतिष्ठा तदप्येष श्लोको भवति इति द्वितीय अनुवाक. Now here we stopped ye annam brahma upasate. Up to that I just introduced you to this subject. While giving a brief background how we are approaching this, if it is kept in mind, it will be, avoiding a lot of doubts and otherwise which can happen to those who are following the, Sanskrit and the other commentaries of other books. The approach is that, see, there is what is called the 5 sheaths or panchakosha. Kosha means sheath. Panchakosha means 5 sheaths, which is stayed mainly from the food sheath, Annamaya, the vital air sheath, the Pranamaya, Manomaya, the mental sheath, Vijnanamaya, the intelligent sheath, or Anandamaya is the 5th sheath. Now, there is 2 approaches to this. One is called Panchakosha Vivekaha. In that, it is predominantly used in Prakarana Granthas, where neti is used, or not this prakriya, or that method is used to disassociate ourselves from the physical body to the breath, to the mental realm, to the intelligent realm, and even to the bliss which is in the deep sleep. Beyond that is the karana or the cause which is Atma. That is one method, whereas here in Taittareeya, they are not doing that way. It is continuation from the first Anuvaka where there were important aspects which were discussed. First one was Ananyatvam. When Ananta, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, when we discussed Anantam, the Anantata or the infinity was defined as non-otherness or nothing else present in it. That means Brahma athava Atma, Brahman athava Atman is an entity or a substance where nothing else can be present in it. The word Atman and Brahman are used synonymously here in this Upanishad. Why? While the initial statement was Brahma with Apnodipadam, means one who knows Brahman pervades everything, or he becomes inevitably the Brahman itself. Because Brahman itself is all pervading, so he pervades everything means he becomes Brahman itself. And when the Panchakosha Viveka or the 5 sheaths being defined, before that the process of creation was narrated, which started with Tasmad va etasmad atmana akasha sambhutaha. So there the word atmana means from Atman, the akasha or the space was created. So without referring to Brahman, the word Atman was used for the purpose of creation. The purpose of using that was, now we have to see that the Brahman and Atman being identical, that is the purpose of all the Upanishads. Jiva Brahma Aikyam, that is the individual and the supreme are none other than the same, or both are identical, or both are the same, not identical even, both are the same. To drive in that principle of oneness or non-duality, Advaita, that is the theme of all the Upanishads. So here also the Upanishads wanted to bring that. For that, knowing Brahman as a third object other than me and the world which I am seeing, as a third object which is the cause for the whole thing, will not suffice my inquiry for the identification of myself with Brahman. For that purpose, the most familiar name which we are all familiar, the self, the Atman, was used for the purpose of the creation. Because when we think of creation, if Brahman has been created, I becomes a object of creation for Brahman. But when I say that Atman is the from where the creation takes place, then I am put in a state of intrigue, where what is that Atman the Upanishad is referring to, or what is the nature of this self which I do not know, which has the potency to create everything. This aspect of Upanishad pushing us to the boundary of inquiry with that statement that from Atma or from the self the space was created would have definitely put a question mark in many of our mind, saying that how can I be the creator of space? To explain that, I told you to consider our experience of dream, where the space for the dream was created, and then how the dreamer became a separate entity in the dream, enjoying the world of dream, and extrapolating that to the waking. We are the waker there, but we do not know our Atma or our nature, which is creating the space for our world, which includes me. So now we need to backtrack or to find out, like how the dreamer was created by the Atma or the self in the mental realm, or from the realm where the experience is being explained. Even the mind inside the dream is the mind of the dreamer. It is not the mind in which we are experiencing the dream. No. Dream is an experience, even though we call it as it is in the mental plane we are experiencing the dream. Actually speaking, it is not the waker's mind which is experiencing the dream. No, totally not. We need to understand this at the beginning itself very clearly. That's why I'm doing to the preamble again once more, so that when we go through the next 5 anuvakas, subsections, where each of the levels of manifestation, when it is being brought by, we have to think about this non-separatedness or none-otherness as one of the requirement. So when it is being told that Annamayam, or the sheath of food, or the physical body of ours, which is being made by the food, sustained by the food, and into which it becomes food for or goes back into the fundamental things, that aspect has to be seen from the point of creation where Atmana Akasha Sambuddha, from where the self, the space was created as a principle, that aspect, that points of creation to which the earth, Prithvi, and then the Panchikaranam, the quantiplication through which the gross bodies were created, and in the creation, how the plants and the grains were produced to become food for animals and birds and human beings. So it is the Atman itself, just as the Atma created the space for the dream world, and in the dream world, the dreamer and the dream world and the experiences. Here the food means it is not the physical food alone. It is all matter we should take. Everything as a material input for the body is to be considered as the food. Same is the case in the dream also. The world of dream, the enjoyments in the world of dream, the dreamer who enjoys everything, all are a creation from the same Atma, which created the space for the dream and created the world of dream and the dreamer. The same Atma has created this space, what we are now enjoying as the world, in which the world is created, the solar system, the cosmos, the planets, the asteroids, comets, etc., including the earth. And in the earth, you and I became the objects for to be born, to be sustained, and to be, going back to this elements of the earth again. So, Annam, for example, if we have to have the iron, we cannot eat iron as it is, but iron content in the food required for the body comes to the body in the form of food. And when we go back to the, either by cremation or by burial, the same thing is disintegrated and they go back to their elementals. So this ananyatvam can be seen even in the physical body, that therefore it is not, we are going to say neti neti here, but we are going to say iti iti. This body is also Atma only, because Atma is the one which has become Akasha, and therefore from Akasha to the earth, and from earth and to the gross elements, and the gross elements to the matter, which we are in one way or the other consuming, either physically, mentally, or intellectually, or by way of food and drink. Everything is made out of this Atma alone. Therefore, we have to see it that when it say Annad vai praja prajayante, vai means indeed, Annad, from the food, prajaha means all the creation, all the living beings, or the one prajanat, means prakarshena jayate iti praja, one who gets taking shape as living beings. Prajayante, they are all born like that. So when it is being told this way, we have to now consider ourselves as what way we can relate to ourselves. Annad vai praja, praja yaha, prajayante, yaha, kaha, whatever that is seen on the earth, the Prithvi, and in the earth also, including the earth. Shrita, connected or born. Shrita prajayante means all the things are connected, interconnected. It is the food which is from where the food is created from the earth. Earth is the place from where the whole thing is being created. And from that, consumed by the male and the female, the child or the baby of the prospective animal or bird or a human being is born. They not only they are born out of that food which is consumed, they are also consuming food or matter for their own growth, and into which they go back after death. Atha annena eva jivanti. So atha means again, annena, by way of food or by way of matter being consumed. Eva, verily, jivanti means these what which are born are living. Atha enat api antataha yanti annam. So atha, next, enat, into this earth, api means even, antataha, at the end, yanti, they go back as annam. Annam hi bhutanam jeshtam. Therefore, the first one to come out of the earth is annam. Jeshtam means the firstborn. So, the firstborn from the earth is annam, or the matter in the form of food, and bhutanam jeshtam, for the all creation from the earth, the food was created before everything. Tasmat tad sarvaushadam uchyate. Therefore, this annam or this matter, tad means that, sarva aushadam, medicine for all, or medicament for all, uchyate is called. Yaha annam brahma iti upasate, te sarve vai annam apnuvanti. Means, those annam brahma iti, who as Brahman, annam as Brahman, upasate, regard or meditate upon that. See, this section to the section 5 is fully upasana. Upasana means meditation, for us to identify the ananyatvam, for the non-separatedness of each one of us not being separate from others. because we all consume the same food, and after our death we all become the food for other elements or the earth and go back to the same source where it is coming from. So virtually there is, or literally there is no difference between one human being and another human being except for the nama rupa, for the name and form. So one who meditates upon food as Brahman. Brahman means the one which is pervading everything. So it is pervading the Annam, it is pervading you, pervading me, and pervading everything in this world, in the creation. So one who can meditate upon this, Annam it upasate, te sarvam vai Annam apnuvanti. They realize they will be able to identify. Apnuvanti means attain. Annam as matter itself. We won't be able to differentiate between Brahman and ourselves separate, because Brahman or Atman is the one which has become the earth. Akashad Vayu, Vayu Agni, Agnirapaha, Adya Prithvi. Prithivya Aushada. That Aushadam Annam is the one which we are all now. We are not different from the vegetables and the trees which are, nourished us. If they have not gone into our consumption, we would not be living. So we are living because we are being propped up by these minerals which is coming from the Prithvi, from the earth. Therefore, one who can meditate upon this as Brahman itself, not as the physical body. What is the benefit of this meditation? Apnuvanti. They attain the status of Annam while living. You become a matter which is loved and enjoyed and desired by people, not for consumption as eating, but as a matter which is now looked by everybody as dear. We look upon a piece of land as dear. We want to possess the land. We want to possess some trees. We want to possess some fruits. We want to possess some grains. Everything we want to do is because we are thinking that that is the one which is propagating, making us nourish and live everything. But we should also understand that all those who have dead and gone have become food, and all those who are living, who are dying before us, are also going to become food, and they are one way or the other becoming the nourishment for the plants and trees and the things which are around the world. And that is the one which is going back to us. So there is absolutely no separation which you can think that somebody is different and unwanted because of their name and form being different, their religion being different, their looks are different, white or black or brown. None of these things matter when everything is gone back to the earth. They all become Annam. Annam means the matter from which subsequent matter comes up for consumption. So, Sarvaushad Sarvam Vai Annam Apnuvanti. So we all become food. Even we will become food one day when we are not using the body anymore. Annad bhutani jayante jatani annena vardante. So annad, from the food, bhutani jayante. It is the creation of the one which are born are being born out of food. Jatani means which are being born. Annena vardante. They are growing because of food, by food. Adyate atticha. They are eaten and they eat. Both aspect is taking place. Here eat means do not think physically eating by mouth. It is the consumption by which we consume. So when we are in a family, the presence of family members are food for us because they nourish us. The social values are nourishing us. The kids gives us enjoyment. The spouses give us enjoyment. The parents give us enjoyment. The community members give us enjoyment. So all sorts of nourishing takes place because of these what are being born. Tasmat tad annam iti uchyate. Because of this very reason, everything is called annam. Annam means matter or food, literally consumable, edible or consumable, even though the word annam is to be used as eatable. But here you should not use the word eatable. The eat here is consumable, in the sense that the presence is the reason why we are able to consume our engagement or our social engagement, family engagement, community engagement, world engagement, all those things. Therefore, they are all spoken as annam. Everything, every matter in this world is a annam. Tasmat va etasmat. Now, tasmat, therefore, again, etasmat, from this annam, anna rasamayat, from the constituted essence of food, not food per se itself. We are not consuming our spouse or our children or anything as a food we are eating in the mouth, but their essence being what they are is the essence with which we consume them. Now, because of this, Anna Rasamaya, they are Rasamaya. See, the word Anna Rasamaya has got a very particular meaning here. Even though the essence of food is the literal meaning, Rasa means is the essence. Anna Rasa means essence of a nature of consumption. Now, for example, if you take our spouse or our children, there is a fulfillment we achieve by their very nature in nature. There is an essence in each one of them, which is making us consume them for our enjoyment or our nourishment, our well-being, mental well-being, physical well-being, social well-being, emotional well-being. All these levels of well-being is because there is an essence in them which constitute not as a physical entity but as an essence, and that is mayam, means full. That essence is unadulterated. If I am taking a children for example, the children cannot be substituted with something else, nor can I substitute the spouse with something else. The role of a spouse, whether you are replacing today one spouse with another spouse, marrying, remarrying again, the essence with which they provide us the nourishment in the well-being, that is unadulterated in them. Ananyatvam. There is uniqueness in that. That is why it is called Anna Rasamayam. That Anna Rasamayam is the way from which these creations have become. So when I am eating a apple or as a food, I am not eating apple, but there is an essence of minerals or the value of food ingrained in that apple, which I consume, and after consuming the rasam, the unwanted rasam is thrown out, which becomes food again. Okay. Now, when I consume that, my body is nourished by the food. Same way, the emotional food, the intellectual food, the social well-being, the family well-being, all those things are food for our well-being. Therefore, etasmat anna rasamayat anyaha, there is another aspect which is now coming for us to consume. Not consume in the sense of food type, but for our maintenance and well-being. That antaraha, separate from annarasamaya. It is called pranamaya. Again, the word maya means 100% of that, not adulterated by anything else. Annarasamaya means it is the essence of the food alone. Now, anya antaraha, separate from the annarasamaya, there is another maya, pranamaya, which is coming for our well-being, which is not different from annarasamaya, but it is subtler than annarasamaya because it is not physically possible for us to touch, but it is moving to a realm which is subtler than the physical matter, which is called prana, means vital air. So constituted of prana, atma asti, that is called atma again because it is none other than the same atma from where this vital air also is coming. So akashat vayu, so that there we know that from the sky the air has come. So this same way, this pranamaya, atma, tena esha purnaha, this pranamaya, that essence or that fullness of prana is purna, is filling, is pervading, or is, ingraded or invading or pervading the entire annabaya. The physical body is completely now filled with prana. Therefore, the annarasamaya body is now full with pranamaya, the vital airs, because it is not subtle like the food or the other matters which we have consumed, but here there is something subtler than the food which we have consumed, which is called the pranamaya. Sa esha purushavidaha eva. That pranamaya, purushavidaha means, purushavida means in the form of a physical body. Eva, verily, is not separate from the shape of that pranamaya, is the same shape of the body. How it is there, we will see that. So what happens is that when the annarasamaya is enjoying the grossness, subtler than the grossness, there is another produce or another creation from the same Atma, Ananyatvam, without not becoming separate from Atma, which is now filling this physical body. And the physical body is now pulsating, surviving and showing that it has got life because of the pranamaya. Because the prana is pervading the entire body. I am Purushavidaha. No, I am Purushavidaha eva. Tasya Purushavidatam anu. I am Purushavidaha tasya prana eva shiraha. Now, tasya means the former. Purushavidatam, human form, that is tasya, the annamayasya Purushavidatam. The human form of the Purusha Annamaya is now anu. Anu means according to the pranamaya is I am Purushavidaha. Is now the pranamaya Purushavidaha. The pranamaya, if you don't consider the annamaya, is the same form of the human body itself, because every cell in the human body is pulsating with the vital air. There is air, or the air means it is not the physical air we are talking about. It is in the form of gases, or that is what fills up the space. That what fills up the space is called a prana. So that is now there in every cell, which has been created out of the Anna Rasa, which has now become the cells of the human body, and that is pervaded by the same pranamaya. Pasya prana eva shiraha. The head of that physical appearance, but of the prana, the mukhya prana, we know that there are 5 pranas: prana, apana, vyana, samana, udana. The 5 pranas. That is the 5 pranas. Out of that, prana is the mukhya prana, or the chief prana, which is the head. Means that is the one which is functioning in the brain, or the head of the human body. The main prana. Tasya prana eva shiraha. Vyana dakshina pakshaha. The left half of the body, it is pervaded by the vyana. Our vyana controls the left part of the right part of the body. Dakshina paksha means right side. Dakshina pakshaha. Apana uttara pakshaha. So prana, apana, vyana. So apana is the left side of the body. So from the head, it is prana. From the trunk onwards, downwards, we have the right side by the vyana and apana on the left side. Akasha Atma. The central trunk portion is Akasha. Akasha here is not the physical space which we are talking about. Here it is talking about the samana. The samana is the one which is carrying the vital air throughout the body, and also takes the heat across the body, also helping the circulation of the blood in the body. So that trunk is the one which is called the samana. Prithvi pucham pradishta. Now where it is taking the support is in Prithvi, is the prana, apana, prana, vyana, apana, udana, samana. Prana, apana, samana, vyana, prana, apana, samana, vyana, udana. So Prithvi is the pucham pradishta. So it is the udana, which is the pucham pradishta. Is the one which is one which is secretion in the bottom portion. So that is the one. Just a minute. Let me not make mistake. Yeah, prana is inhaling and going upwards. Therefore, the head. Apana is the exhaling, goes through the left nostril, left wing of the bird. Vyana pervades the whole body, the right wing of the bird or the body. Udana supports and gives the body the balance, is the pricham pradishta. Udana is the pricham, the tail of the body. Samana helps digestion of the food, is the trunk of the body. So prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana, all the 4 are compared with the functions based on that. Prana is inhaling and going upwards. Apana is exhaling, going through the left nostril. Vyana pervades the whole body. That's so the right side of the bird. Udana supports the body balance, the heat, the bottom portion of that. Therefore, pucham pradishta. And samana is the trunk of the bird. So this is how the pranamaya kosha has to be understood. So Tvakascha Prithivi. Akasha, Atma, Prithivi, Pucham Pradishta. Api Esha Shloko Bhavati. Now there is a Anuvaka which is following in the third Anuvaka where the continuation is being given by the Upanishad, how the prana is now to be understood. Prana devam anupranananti manushyaha pasavaschaye. This is the third subsection. I am taking the first part of it. Pranam deva anuprananti manushyaha pasavahascha ye. Prano hi bhutanam ayuhu. Tasmat sarvaushadam uchyate. Sarvayusham uchyate. In the Annam it is said sarvayusham. Sarvaushadam. Here it is sarvayusham uchyate. Sarvam me eta ayuryanti. Ya pranam brahma upasate. Prano hi bhutanam ayuhu. Tasmat sarvayusham uchyate iti. Tasyesha eva sharira atma ya purvasya. I'm going to take only half of this thing. The next one is coming to prana. From prana it will go to manomaya. So before taking the manomaya, let us understand how the pranamaya is thing. Devaha pranam anuprananti is how the prose order will come for the first sentence. Devaha means Dyotana Deva, or one controls our sense organs, the organs of action and organs of perception. All of them are under Devas and they are all controlled by prana. And each of the sense organs are presided over by one Deva. Therefore, Devaha pranam anuprananti. So, they control and hold the activities, each of the Devas. Yecha manushyaha pasavascha pranahi bhutanam ayuhu. Those, yehe, cha, also manushyaha pasavaha pranahi bhutanam ayuhu. So here, not only the Devas, but manushyaha, the human beings, pasava, the animals, birds, etc., pranahi bhutanam ayuhu. The life, which we call it as life in the body, physical body, when the life is puffed out, we say the prana has gone. So, ayuhu, it means the lifetime or the duration of life. The duration of life is now in the hands of the pranamaya. In this Brahman, which has now become the prana by the form of creation, which is subtler than the Anna, is indeed the life in all the living beings, including the Devas. Devas are also have got life. Tasmat tat sarvayusham uchyate. Therefore, that pranamaya or vital prana, sarvayusham, is called the universal life. Uchyate is called the universal life. That means every aspect of existence, life basically is a representation of existence. And when the life goes, the name and form will also vanish for consumption by the sense organs. They go back to their fundamental elements for all this thing. If the star becomes puffed out, a star is no more seen, the star goes back to its fundamental elements. If a sun is gone from the galaxy, that planets and the sun solar system goes out of system and they don't exist anymore. Everywhere the existence is seen in pulsating due to the presence of prana. It is, even though it is called vital air, it is not air per se, it is the vitality with which life itself is propagated, or the life is perceived by our sense organs. Ye pranam brahma upasate. one who can concentrate or meditate upon prana as Brahma. This prana which is present in our body, because of which our body is now called a living being, which is being nurtured and supported by the 5 pranas: prana, apana, udana, samana, vyana. All of them, one who can meditate upon these 5 forms of the prana, not only in my body, but it is also present in the every body. Ananyatvad. There is no difference between my body and your body and any other body. Every body or every existence in the whole universe is due to this prana. One who can meditate upon that, contemplate upon that, they sarve ayuhu eva yanti. Yaha eshaha pasya purvasya eva sharira atma. So, what happens is that yaha, that this pranamaya, tasya purvasya, of the former, which is Annamaya, eva, verily is the sharira, atma. Now, the sharira has which we are thinking that our physical body is the sharira. We have to now assume that our pranamaya is the sharira, because it is the pranamaya which is propping up our physical sharira, which is nurtured by the annas, even though it is nurtured by the Annamaya and we are born by Annamaya and everything, it will not be able to remain as the heat producing body or the existence of the body, which will be puffed out, and we will not be able to say we are a living being unless the prana is present in our body. Therefore, prana is now tasya purvasya. Like how Annamaya is to be considered as our sharira, now we have to identify our prana as our sharira, similar to the Annamaya sharira, which we thought is nothing but other than the Brahman or Atman. Now the same Brahman or Atman is also present in our Pranamaya sharira. So Pranamaya sharira, Annamaya sharira are both from the same Brahman or Atman. Therefore, it is only the nature in which they are appearing, but in essence, they are nothing but the same Brahman. So, ye Brahma Bhupasate, one who can meditate upon this as Brahman, what happens is that he becomes the prana of everything, the universal prana. He Sarvayusha Muchyate. He becomes the embodiment of the entire universe itself, because he is now identifying himself with the entire universe. Therefore, we have to meditate upon the Annamaya Sharira, now the Pranamaya Sharira, and we are now in the level of the universal body itself as Brahman. And from how this Pranamaya, Manomaya is being born, which we will take it in the next class. In the same way, how Annamaya, Pranamaya has born, Pranamaya gives birth to Manomaya. How Manomaya is connected to the Pranamaya and therefore the Annamaya, we will deliberate it on the Friday class. I will stop here and move to the question answer session. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahavidyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamuchyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ओम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् थैंक यू धन्यवाद नमस्ते
Thank you, Binduji. Thank you for that very immersive 1 hour of Pranamaya Kosa. So the chat is now on. Hand raising is open. If you have any questions or any follow-up discussions with reference to this particular Upanishad, and Binduji will be here for another half an hour or so. So you're welcome to come up, raise your hands and come up. And again, thank you for being in the audience and listening to this deep meditation on the Pranamaya Kosa. Thank you.
if nobody has questions I'll take leave early
Okay, there's Karen coming up. Binduji.
okay namaste Karan
You almost escaped. Namaste, Banerjee. I have a quick question about the subtle body.
yep
The subtle body encompasses then the intellect, ego, and feelings, emotions, all of that. Yes?
no that is the manomaya kosha the mental body
That is the
next
mental body. Oh,
next
that's the
one
next one up. So, because if the mental body, it gives us, that is the basic body that gets us in trouble every time with creating an identity, right?
The identity is as or normally with the physical body, and we don't identify with our vital air or the five air which is operating our body.
Mm-hmm.
We straight away go to the mental realm without touching this physical body. I mean air. But why we need to understand this vital air is that even for the mind to operate, unless the air is circulating and the heat and the bloodstream is going through the blood and the brain and everything, the mind also will not be functional. I'll come to that in the next class.
Yes.
So you will know it much more better how the connection to be made.
Okay. Yeah, because that is understandable. If one doesn't eat for a day or two, most of the time the mental clarity goes down. So that is understood. But thank you for that. I wasn't sure which level that was. So thank you. That's all.
Welcome, Karan. Namaste, Revati.
Namaste, Binduji. My question is it's about the last class only. The Annarasa is designed in that way, means can I understand like this? The Annarasa, Annamaya Atma is the person who is going to making upasana on that. He is the food for everyone. And he also consumes the food. That means it is karma jnanayor adhikriyate, means he just it is in a materialistic level. Is that so, Binduji?
Yeah.
He will be just in this consumption and that level.
That's right. We are identifying with our physical body 99% of the time. Even when we are thinking or emotional and feeling and everything, we think the body is the one which is becoming emotional. Because the mind is inside the body, is that what we think. We will now come to know in the next class, coming class on Friday, how that is not right. how we have to elevate ourselves beyond the physical body. Now itself we know that we are not more limited with the physical body, because when we come to Pranamaya Kosha, even though the shape is sort of the physical body, at the level of identification, we are not limited with the, once you Brahma Upasate, when you do consider this as Brahman, the prana is Brahman, then the universe also is existing. That existence of the physical body of our individuality, which is based on the prana, is similar to the existence of everything in the world, the universal world. That is why Sarvayusham Uchyate. Ayusham means it's the life of everything. And one who meditates upon the prana, Shankaracharya in his Bhashya says that such a person will not undergo any, what you call, death which is sudden, like an accident or a disease and everything. He will live his life full till the Annarasamaya is ready to decay by itself. That is, the physical body is ready to decay itself, means old age. So one who meditates upon the prana as a pranamaya, I am the prana, as a Brahma Upasate, not only he is identifying himself as Brahman, such a person will not have a, accidental death or, or suicide or, premature death due to sickness, etc. His body will live through the full Shatayusham Purushaha. That normal life of a human being is considered as 100 years by the Vedas. So they will live up to 100 years is what Shankaracharya tells about the, in his commentary about it. So I'm not going into those commentaries because they are more related to the Vedic terms and Vedic terminologies. So what matters for our modern understanding is what my, summary of that is what I am doing it. So that is how we will have to understand the whole thing.
Yes, Binduji. Thank you. Now understood, Binduji. Thank you.
Dhanyavad.
Binduji, I have a question.
Please.
Or a clarification. Yes. So this, as you transition from, Annamaya to Pranamaya, so within each realm of its own, like Annamaya, is there a transition from the gross to subtle and the causal, and then transition to the next Maya? Is that how one can do the Sravana Manana? Binduji? You're muted, Binduji.
Oh, sorry. It is not like that. What we have to understand is that I am identifying myself as the physical body now, which now the Upanishads has told me that it is Annamaya. But the Upanishad in the second stage has saying that it is because of the prana even the Annamaya is sustained. Therefore, Annamaya is included in the Pranamaya. Therefore, I am both the prana and the Anna put together. It is not that I am going to leave Annamaya and go to subtler Pranamaya like that. No. It is Ananyatvam. There is no separation between the Pranamaya and the Annamaya when it comes from the Brahman's point of view. So Brahma Upasate, one who meditates upon Brahman, he will meditate prana which supports the Annamaya for the purpose of the operations, for the consumption. So both prana and Anna put together becomes the object of meditation. Even though a pranam Brahma Upasate, he attains the universal pranahood. That I am the prana means the one which sustains the physical body of my human nature is the prana, same prana which sustains every matter in this world. Every cell has got, the prana in it. And not only this earth, every cosmos, every planet, every star, every sun, everything, the whole universe is supported by a prana in the universal nature. Therefore, this prana which is in me is not different from the prana which is there in the whole universe. So the association with myself as no more limited as the individual. I elevate myself as a universal prana. That is the Brahma Upasana of prana as Brahma to be meditated upon.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that clears a lot, because when we go stepwise, there is a possibility of that dissociation. So thank you, Binduji.
So we'll meet on Friday. You can make the announcement about for the Friday thing.
Yes, definitely. So the follow-up class, the next class is on Friday, same time. And then there's a question session on Sunday, which is more open. But the Friday class will be a follow-up of today's class. So thank you all for coming. What I do is do the Sravana Manana, which is to listen to the replay, because these lectures are all connected in a series. And if you do listen to it and come, I think you'll benefit a lot from this process of learning. So again, heartfelt thanks to Bindoji and for all the members for having shown up today. And I think with that, I think I'll pass it on to Bindoji to close the room. Thank you.
Thank you, Prakash. Thank you all for being there. As Prakash has said, please listen to this replay, which will be available here. And also, the earlier replays are available. Those who are not listened to the beginning onwards, they can listen to today is the 21st class on the Taittareeya Upanishad. The other Upanishads and other classes which I have done is available in the YouTube called Advaita Retold, or the YouTube handle is @Advaitic Talks. Those who want to look for it, you can get it, and it is there in my profile also. And those who want to have doubts, ask me to pay personally. My email is also given in my profile. Please feel free. I'm not in a state, or I don't think I am unapproachable. I am easily approachable, whomsoever wants, and I reply to all of you. Please do come for the Friday for the continuation of the class. Hope you all getting benefited out of this class again. Thank you all. Hari Om. Namaste. Good night.
Hari Om.